Well, it's finally happening. I think Fortnite's Metaverse might actually be failing. Now, at the risk of this video aging horribly, I do think I should say a few things first. I do think the Metaverse is failing, but I don't think the entire Metaverse will fail. I definitely think the Metaverse entirely could fail, but in this video, I'm going to talk about why I think Epic's Metaverse is failing. But I'm just hedging my bets here because I genuinely don't think the entire thing will fail. I just think that some of what Epic's doing is going really badly, and I will show you exactly why, because there is behind the scenes stuff that is looking very bad. And well, if you don't know, essentially as of a couple days ago, Fortnite slowly started releasing some new info about Fortnite Festival. Now, to the 5 fans that I actually know that still play that mode, they were very upset and talking to me about it a lot. Essentially what happens is that Fortnite Festival had all of the songs you could play in Fortnite Festival in the shop at all times. There was like around 300 jam tracks in the shop at any given time, always. And well, now you might notice it's down to around 40, I think. And so a lot of people just thought, oh, well, this is a very bad change. We do not like this. This is not good for the game mode. But I don't think people were expecting what happened next. But before I explain what happened next, let's get on to some of the other Epic game modes. So as many of y'all know, rocket racing is very successful and is permanently being supported by Epic Games. Yeah, so I mean, I don't even have to explain this one. Rocket racing is been pretty much a complete failure of a mode. They're still releasing vehicles, and I'm sure like some people still play it, but they basically said we're not going to support this as much anymore. They even didn't do like some of the stuff that was in the leaked roadmap for last year. They were just like, yeah, this mode's not doing well enough. We're going to basically can it. And well, I think a lot of people, including myself, didn't think it's that as the end of the road. Like, people thought, okay, like they can one mode, like they'll support the other modes a lot, and we'll see what happens going forward. But lately, Ballistic has also been in some issues, as well as like a new map has supposedly been in the works for a while, and Ballistic only launched with one map, and it took a really long time for them to do an update, and that update added like 2 guns, if I remember right. And then recently they announced finally they're going to bring out another map, but it's basically going to release unfinished, which again to me was not the end of the world, because all that meant is like, oh, they don't want to finish it and have people not like it, so they're going to release it unfinished so that they can continue finishing it and tweak it in ways that people would enjoy. Now, I think that's all well and good, but I do think I was starting to see some sort of pattern, and this is where the news of Fortnite Festival sort of hit the fan. Well, essentially, there was a lot of jam tracks in the work for Fortnite Festival and for the game in general. And there have been several leakers that have behind the scenes news about those jam tracks and about Fortnite Festival as a whole. And well, it seems like almost all of those leaked jam tracks are not happening. Now, to be fair, there could be a lot of reasons for this. However, the leakers also stated that Fortnite Festival behind the scenes is a mess. Now, again, that's not confirmed, but this is speculation, and I think the pattern is definitely there. So what it seems like is a lot of these jam tracks are getting canceled due to copyright issues, amongst other things. Now, one explanation is if it's all just copyright issues, maybe the reason why they lowered the shop jam tracks down to 40 is so they could curate things in case those copyright issues were causing a lot of the other jam tracks to have issues as well. But if this starts to be the case, it is not looking good for Fortnite Festival, as if you can't get control of your copyright infringement like problems within your own game with a mode that basically succeeds and thrives off of copyright, it's not looking too good. Now, there's another reason, and this one is definitely worse and probably spells the end for Epic's Metaverse, and that's that this mode is just not performing well enough either. Epic is known for spending a lot more money than they actually make. Tim Sweeney's mindset has always been, let's invest a lot more in Fortnite so that we can take in more people, and then the game will succeed in the future. And I think for Fortnite Festival, that might have been the case here too. They're getting A-list celebrities in Fortnite as skins for the Fortnite Festival, and they're getting tons of jam tracks from those artists, tons of different songs. I'm sure it's a copyright nightmare. And frankly, we do not even know if they are making money off of this. Now, if that's the case and this mode is not profitable, then they might be sacking it. or it could just not be performing as well as they were hoping and they're going to support it less. I think what makes the most sense here is two options. Number one, again, it's just copyright issues. They're going through some stuff and then it will pick up steam later on as they get it figured out. Number two, the one that I personally think, the game mode isn't doing well enough to just justify all of the hubbub that it needs, and they might be just scaling it back, and they're gonna see what happens as they do that. Again, I would lean more towards copyright if it didn't already happen with rocket racing and with ballistic, and so I would gladly be wrong here, and if it is just copyright issues and they get it sorted out and the mode thrives on into the next like 5 years, cool. I'm very happy for that to happen. But if I were going to be honest, I think these modes are kind of just failures, as much as that hurts me to say. However, they might not be failures in Epic's eyes at all anyway. I think a lot of these modes were just made as a way to develop verse for UEFN so that they could work on that programming model and that language, and that these game modes were kind of just a test to see what UEFN could do for them. I think the ultimate goal is to give it into the hands of the consumers, and then Epic kind of wants to just be hands off and just make new things for people to use with UEFN. Another personal theory of mine is we know that Disney mode should be coming eventually, where they're going to do this big collab with Fortnite and Disney. It's going to have something to do to UEFN. There's going to be a bunch of different experiences. We don't really know what that is yet. I do think it's going to come soon though. Unreal Fest this year is going to be held in Orlando, and I'm pretty sure it's been announced that it's going to be at like Disney or a place really close to Disney. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there is play tests available there during that. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I also think that maybe all of this, maybe them not supporting these modes as much, is because they are working on that Disney mode a lot. Because who knows, that could be like 5 new game modes that we don't even know about yet. Now, it is odd because they integrated all of these different modes with their own cosmetics. So now some of the things like cars don't feel as important anymore, but people still buy them every now and then. Jam tracks, if Fortnite Festival fails, are going to feel way less important. And I think that gun wraps and stuff like that in the first person mode is not going to draw in as much as Epic may have thought they would. However, there is always going to be bumps in the road, so let me know what you guys are thinking on all of this. Do you think it's going to be a very bad thing for Fortnite? Do you think all of this is just getting caused because of the Disney mode? Do you think it's failing? Do you think the Metaverse is failing? Do you think Fortnite should finally just die in general? Let me know what you think, because I can't quite tell what's happening, but I can tell there's definitely something happening here. I've been around the Fortnite space long enough to know when I smell blood in the water, and I just can tell something's going on. Best case scenario, they're just diverting resources for the Disney mode, and these ones are going to continue on off into the sunset until their ultimate demise, and we'll just have to deal with that when that happens eventually. And then there's also copyright issues. I don't know. But also, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who still uses my code. I don't think you guys understand just how much it helps. And to the people who are on my Patreon, you guys are the goats. Thank you so much. That shit means the world to me. Also, go buy some merch. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time, bitch. Bye. Thank you so much to all my Patreons for supporting the channel, and thank you, Paragon, for the extra crazy support.